political pundits said nobody won ever win using the internet, so they ignored it. After YouTube was invented, we ended up having tools like Flickr, and then we had, of course, MySpace and Facebook and all kinds of social networks. And by 2008, we had a much more robust platform, and on top of that, we had far more people using the internet in new ways, so that by the time, frankly, that Barack Obama started running for office, he was like a surfer on a tsunami of voter-generated content that was being produced on the internet every single day. But the political parties and most political pundits were completely unaware of it. Now, I became personally aware of how dramatic the shift was about 8 months before the election, when I went to visit my dad, who called me up to help him with his email. Now, have any of you heard of the movie Slumdog Millionaire? Have any of you seen it? For those of you who haven't, I highly recommend it. It's a great movie. Now, the reason I'm saying that to you now is to emphasize a point, which is that when people talk to each other and tell each other about movies or about a restaurant, they tend to remember that much more than if they saw the ad or they saw the review. The same thing works in politics. People's political opinions are formed by talking to each other in the most common of places. They do it around dining tables, around water coolers, over the back fence, at the gym, in the market, in the playground. And they share their aspirations, their fears, their hopes, their dreams. And eventually a consensus is formed, people go to the polls and they vote. That happened in 2008 the same way it's happened in every other election prior to this one. But when my dad called me up and said, help me with this email, I came over to his house and I realized that things had really changed. Because when I looked over his shoulder, what he wanted me to do is he wanted me to help him figure out how to do more than one email address at a time. He didn't know how to do it. So I showed him how to use his address book and to create a group and to be able to broadcast an email to a bunch of friends. Then I looked at the email itself. And what it said was in the subject line, watch this. And inside the text of the email was simply a link to a Barack Obama YouTube video. Now my dad didn't, 4 years ago, 8 years ago, 12 years ago, would not have picked up the phone and called up his friends and told them to vote for Barack Obama. Nor would he have sent pamphlets, nor would he have stood at a rally holding a sign. But if he was sitting at a dining table with some friends and the subject of politics came up, he probably would have said his opinion if it was appropriate. And here he was in 2008 becoming a 21st century political pamphleteer, and he didn't even know it. The whole political media ecology has changed in such a dramatic way, and the only people who still haven't figured it out are the people we elect to office.